Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here, and we're back with another unboxing. We're unboxing 1Upbox, and this will be we're pretty sure, July box.
Yeah, we're in Canada. We tend to get it a little bit later, even though we got it in August. It is almost definitely the July box. Thanks again to 1Upbox for giving us the box to do an unboxing and a review.
Yeah.
And like we usually do, we've got a recommendation and just, I guess, something to share at the end. For those of you who don't know, this is a subscription service. Every month you can buy one for yourself. Link is in the description. Coupon for discount is also in the description too. And it's a monthly collection of, I guess, pop culture, gaming stuff.
Yeah, like gaming, geek, nerdy kind of stuff. And it's called 1Upbox because, you know, the 1Up mushroom, so it's kind of like
nice
gaming themed.
Okay, and it's one of the least expensive ones, so the fact that it actually comes with an Arkham Knight Funko is so cool.
Okay, so this is looks like from the top it's from like the Batman Arkham Knight game primarily. Yeah. That's really cool.
Dang. Alright, this is, I mean, because it's relatively cheap, at least for people in the US, it's once it's got one thing of significance like that, it basically makes the value of the box.
Yeah, that's a lot of really cool detail. I did play through almost all of Arkham Knight after I was able to get a free refund after how much, like, no matter how much I played, but I didn't have the time to get all the way through it.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Deadshot car freshener, I think.
Looks like it. Yeah, that's definitely Deadshot.
We're in the habit of cracking things open, I sort of don't want to because I know the smell will eventually fade.
Yeah, so maybe we'll keep that for a little bit. But that's cool too. So far, I'm really liking the Funko. There's just a lot of nice detail.
So it's a Mario Brothers and Joker mashup.
Yeah, Mario is the Joker, but he's also pulling the strings of... that's Luigi Deathstroke. That is Princess Peach Harley Quinn. Daisy, who is that? Who's the, like...
Is that Deathstroke or Deadshot?
I'm pretty sure that's Deathstroke, because it could be Deadshot.
Because Deathstroke is actually blind in one eye, so maybe that is, but no, it's got the targeting. It's the targeting,
It probably is Deadshot, actually, sorry. And so that's definitely Harley Quinn. Who is that? Who's the, like, mystic, like...
On the Suicide Squad team? I don't know if there's... Is it Enchantress then?
Enchantress, that's who it is, and then that would be Croc,
Killer
right?
Croc. That makes sense.
Okay.
Bowser's Killer Croc. Alright. I like it, actually. That's
really cool.
Yeah. Here's a 1Up squad. So it definitely is July, and it's a squad. It's a Suicide Squad. And there's still more. Ooh, dog tags. Hold on. Let's pop this baby open.
Okay.
Alright, can you see it?
It looks like the similar design to what's on the button. Yeah, I can see it. I don't know what they are. Here, let me... It's hard for me to tell. Here, we'll move on to the next thing. I don't actually know. Oh! Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
Alright, so now this will be the summary. Oh, wait, there's one more thing and then we'll have the summary telling us what it is. So this is a little mini poster that looks like Groot.
And that's Rocket Raccoon, so swinging on Groot.
Alright, cool.
That's really cool. Okay.
So number one. Oh, there was a chance of getting everything. So it's one of 4 Batman Arkham series Funko Pop. Marksman air freshener. Oh, okay. So I wonder if we've touched on this a little bit before, right? That it's not clearly this is licensed. Some of it is not. So when they say Marksman, then they're specifically avoiding use of the trademark term.
Deadshot, yeah.
So that might actually be it. Alright, so this is paranormal dog tag. And drive away any haunted spirits. Alright, so these are supposed to be paranormal. Maybe from the TV show? I guess there's not enough detail and we don't watch paranormal enough to draw the inference. Okay. Space Guardians poster.
So it's not Guardians of the Galaxy either.
And Super Smash Squad. Okay.
Oh, because it's the Super Smash Bros. Characters, right, I guess? Even though they're all from the Mario universe.
Right. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
So it's like, yeah.
Alright, so the price on this including shipping is typically, I think, $20 US. And again, you've got the full, more than that value out of just the Funko Pop and the T-shirt.
And to me, this Funko Pop is really cool. I mean, I know I was showing it, but just look at the detail on that. That's really, really cool.
And with the coupon, that's typically $3 off, I think. So you can get the first month that you subscribe to for $17. I gotta tell you, I haven't disappointed you with 1Upbox.
Yeah, and I know this is kind of unrelated, but just the Arkham Knight. One of the reasons why I think this is so cool is I did get a chance to play the Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
It was on the PC, so anybody who knows anything about the Arkham Knight's release will know that a lot of people were having trouble. I had a computer just good enough to run it, and I also got a free refund after I had played a bunch of the games and got a little bit bored with it.
Yeah.
But I really did enjoy, like, the game as a whole was pretty fun. So
okay.
that's a cool thing to get, because it was a fun game to play. It's a really cool Funko, and you know, I do know a little bit more about the Arkham Knight than I would have otherwise.
Okay, so that's the end of our unboxing, and now we move on to our usual sort of
Shaky cam
add-on. And what we've got this month, or this unboxing actually, because not every month now, it's more often, is a book review of Where Am I Now, and a big thank you to Penguin for sending us an advanced reading copy. This is a book that's coming out in September, so next month. And just to give maybe a little bit of context, Mara Wilson, from the picture, when she was much younger, you might recognize her as the actress who played Matilda with Danny DeVito and Rhea Perlman, or in Mrs. Doubtfire with Robin Williams. And we actually know her more recently as the faceless old lady who secretly lives in your house from Welcome to Night Vale.
And we really love both Welcome to Night Vale and her role in that.
Yeah, we do. I mean, she's great. We had the privilege of actually attending NerdCon and seeing her perform and do some talks. So we know she's no longer the cute little girl from Mrs. Doubtfire and Matilda. And we also knew that she was writing.
And pretty good at it.
Well, and that's the context. So, so it's a book full of essays, and what's interesting about it is that each essay or story, it's memoir, but each story has its own arc. So there's a little bit of overlap between one story and the next in terms of the time period that she's talking about, and it's not so much from different perspectives because it's still her all the time, right? But it's from with a different
facets of it. Yeah.
Right. So it's what's cool is it's almost like adding different layers of color with each new story.
Yeah, because you're hearing stories from the exact same time, but like just kind of, it almost seems to be telling a wildly different like story of a kid. It almost seems like it's a bunch of different like separate children, but these are all her perspectives, and it's just each facet of her life is really different and new and interesting.
All right, so you know what this reminds me of when I was reading? I know it's totally out there, right? But remember Hyperion by Dan Simmons? And how it was all the Pilgrim stories, and then not only that, so they're adding different layers to the world.
Yeah, to the overall story.
But in the next book, Fall of Hyperion, you learn something that changes how you see everything before. I mean, it doesn't change the events, but it gives you a different perspective on them, right?
Okay, if that was off topic, we're going way off topic. I actually read a little bit of the Selected Canterbury Tales.
Oh, right, the Hyperion is structured.
Yeah, the Hyperion is structured like with the Pilgrim story. It was even the New Verse translation, so it wasn't like in actual like full Old English, and I still couldn't get through it. It was still too dense for me.
All right.
So if you ever wanted to know my reading level, it's lower than that.
I think that a lot of people would have difficulty. That Old English back then they didn't even.
No, but it was the New Verse translation, so it was like kind of Old English updated.
Oh, okay.
And that was even just too dense. It was.
Because one of the things, if they don't translate it, you know what makes it really bad? They didn't have a standard spelling. Like, that was before they had dictionaries, so everything was phonetic, and everybody could spell words the way they wanted to.
But I think my favorite part of the entire book was where one of the stories cuts off, and they're just like, you know, he never finished this book, but this is, like, near the beginning, so we're not exactly sure if he decided to come back to it or just got bored of this story and never finished writing it. I just found that really entertaining. It's like, oh wow, Chaucer, this super influential author. I don't know, maybe I'll come back to it later, and then there's just a missing big chunk in the middle of one of his books.
All right, so you know, bringing it back, I like that digression. All right, so one of the givens when you read memoir is that it's being told as a story, right? But the trouble with real life, it's not always as neat and tidy as the kind of narratives we get from fiction. So we know that the kind of stories, the anecdotes that they pick, they're deliberately chosen to sort of push the story along. And when celebrity memoirs are not well done, it's almost like a big info dump, right? And it's pretty boring, except for the juicy bits of entertainment gossip from people that you might recognize in movies or TV shows, right? But what really makes hers interesting is that it's not that. There's a really cool kind of, I don't know how to describe it. It's like an ebb and a flow. Like there's a rhythm to it. It makes it really compelling. So it's not so much. It becomes less a memoir of a former child star than it is a really good writer drawing you into a story about what they did when they were young and how they sort of navigated all that to get to where they are.
Yeah.
So it's not just that she's telling you stuff. It's not just the information, but it's how she tells it. I really like too that it's, even though it is a bit of a celebrity kind of it literally is a celebrity memoir. It isn't completely sanitized like sometimes happens. Like there's sort of two diametrically opposed tendencies, right? One is to be really salacious and tell a huge amount of naughty bits, and sometimes it's completely sanitized to make people, I don't know, look a certain way to sort of buff their image. What's really cool, she captures those kind of cringeworthy moments that we all of us had when we were growing up. You know what I mean? Those things that we did when we were young, and that we thought that we really didn't have a choice, but that the grown up, when we get past that and we have the perspective years later of looking back, we know we could have done better. Well, I guess I can say that.
Sure.
With the benefit of years. All right, so I don't want to focus too much on what the book isn't, because what it is, she's really funny, right?
Yeah, it was really, really enjoyable.
One thing that jumps out in my mind, that stands out in my mind, is that time when she'd been out for night dancing and she's walking down the street and somebody tries to bum a cigarette off her, and she doesn't have a cigarette, but she has 3 types of asthma medications.
Yeah.
Like those little moments, like there's a rhythm to it, and it's sort of an unexpected punchline. I don't know how to describe it. I don't want to spoil it. Really enjoyable read, really funny.
Yeah, really liked it.
Yeah, and my perspective isn't anywhere like hers. I've never been a child actor. I haven't lost a mother to cancer. I'm not even a woman, clearly, right? But she's able to reach the parts of her experience that we all share, right? The commonality. Growing up, trying to figure out where we fit in, and it's kind of amped up a little bit to 11 because she's dealing with the scrutiny of everybody watching her do it in public, right? Because she's a public figure, she's a famous actress. So I guess putting that into context, she reminds me a lot of Will Wheaton, who's had a almost similar arc, right? Where he was a child actor. He's moved on to a second career as a writer and an influential blogger. So if you like Will Wheaton, because I think Will Wheaton's probably got a bigger audience right now, I think you'll really like Mara Wilson's Where Am I Now? And if you like Mara Wilson's Where Am I Now, another book that I would highly, highly recommend is Kick Me by Paul Feig. And you might know Paul Feig as the writer for Freaks and Geeks.
Or recently, the producer of a lot of stuff.
He did Ghostbusters.
Yeah, he did Spy.
Yes.
He did Bridesmaids.
Yes. Again, memoirs, funny. I hope it can reach a similar audience that will find Will Wheaton and Mara Wilson. And just to give it a little bit of context, why these are so, I guess, so good and so different. So we actually do read quite a few nonfiction. And it runs the gamut, right? So you've got Felicia Day, which we've reviewed before. You've got Amy Poehler, who is a genuinely funny woman. But then you've also got some memoirs that are maybe in some ways capitalizing on somebody's fame and not necessarily on their ability to write. So you've got Ronda Rousey's, which was an interesting read, but was clearly co-written. It was credited to as a co-writer was her sister, who is a journalist, who's a professional writer, and other things typically like the autobiography of Gordie Howe, which even though it doesn't credit another writer, a lot of those often will have a ghostwriter. And I can't know for sure, but I suspect, especially since it was written at the tail end, because if you're watching this video, you may or may not know at this time that Gordie Howe passed away recently, that he was in poor health and he was not doing well at the end. So we like memoirs. They're definitely interesting. This one's particularly good. Highly recommended. When it comes up in September, I strongly suggest maybe if wherever you buy your books, pre-order it. Great book. Thank you so much to Penguin for letting us have the chance to read it early.
Yeah, and thanks to you guys for watching. That'll do it for this video. We'll see you guys next time. Komoda.